What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, with another edition of Where, Pick, and Dare, where I pick games for the various games that are occurring tomorrow. Whether it's football, baseball, basketball, basically whatever games I want to pick, I will pick them. With all that being said, on with the video. College men's basketball. Texas Longhorns versus Purdue Boilermakers. This is part of the Sweet 16 of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Um, So Texas is a 24.4% chance to win, and Purdue is a 75.5% chance to win. This game is in San Jose, California, so not really home advantage for either team. Texas is an 11 seed, 21-14 record. Purdue is a 2 seed, 29-8 record. For stats, Texas has more points per game, points against. Purdue is a higher field goal percentage. Texas has more rebounds per game. Purdue has more assists per game. Texas has more blocks per game and steals per game. These stats are pretty close. With Purdue having more wins, less losses, being more highly ranked, and generally just being like better, like with the. So yeah, I think Purdue will beat Texas tomorrow. Iowa Hawkeyes versus Nebraska Cornhuskers. This is part of Sweet 16, the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Iowa has a 40.4% chance to win. Nebraska has a 59.6% chance to win. This game is in Houston, Texas. It's not really home field advantage for either team. Iowa's a 9 seed, 23-12 record. Nebraska's a 4 seed, 28-6 record. For stats, Nebraska has more points per game. Iowa's more points against, higher field goal percentage. Nebraska has more rebounds per game, assists per game, blocks per game, and steals per game. These stats are pretty close, with most of the stats favoring Nebraska. I think Nebraska will beat Iowa tomorrow. Saw Razorbacks versus Arizona Cardinals. This is part of Sweet 16, the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Arkansas is a 23.4% chance to win. Arizona is a 76.6% chance to win. This game is in San Jose, California, so definitely a lot closer for Arizona than it is for Arkansas. Arkansas is a 4 seed, 28-8 record. Arizona's a 1 seed, 34-2 record. For stats, Arkansas has more points per game, points against. Field goal percentage is even. Arizona has more rebounds per game. Arkansas has more assists per game, blocks per game. Arizona has more steals per game. The only stat that's really a big difference here is points against. That one's a 11.9 difference in favor of Arizona. So with that advantage, I think Arizona will beat Arkansas tomorrow. Illinois fighting Illini versus Houston Cougars. This is part of Sweet 16, the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Illinois is a 40.7% chance to win, and Houston is a 59.3% chance to win. This game is in Houston, Texas, so it's definitely a home field advantage for Houston. Illinois is a 3 seed, 26-8 record. Houston's a 2 seed, 30-6 record. For stats, Illinois has more points per game, points against, higher field goal percentage, more rebounds per game, assists per game, blocks per game, and Houston has more steals per game. These stats are pretty close, so I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think Houston will beat Illinois tomorrow. NBA. New York Knicks versus Charlotte Hornets. The Knicks have a 50.8% chance to win. The Hornets have a 49.2% chance to win. This is at Charlotte. For injuries for the Knicks, Shaman and McBride are out, and McCullough Jr. is a game time decision. For the Hornets, Salon's out, and Connaughton is a game time decision. For stats, Knicks have more points per game. Hornets have more points against. Knicks have a higher field goal percentage. Rebounds per game is even. Knicks have more assists per game. Hornets have more blocks per game, and Knicks have more steals per game. These stats are pretty close, so I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think the Hornets will beat the Knicks tomorrow.
College baseball.
Oklahoma Sooners versus Texas Longhorns. Oklahoma is 8 in the nation, 19-5 record. Texas is 2 in the nation, 20-4 record. This game is at Texas, so this is a big top 10 matchup within the SEC. Yeah, so play a big role in the SEC tournament seeding. So yeah, so this is the first game of the series. Like this could be a good game. I think with it being at Texas, I think Texas will beat Oklahoma tomorrow.
MLB.
Pittsburgh Pirates versus New York Mets. The Pirates have a 47.3% chance to win, and the Mets have a 52.7% chance to win. This game is at New York. For pitchers, you have Paul Skeens for the Pirates. He has a ERA of 1.96 and a WHIP of 0.95. And then, for the Mets, you have Freddie Peralta. Um, he has a ERA of 3.59, WHIP of 1.13. So, the significant pitching advantage for the Pirates. So I think despite the home field advantage that the Mets have, I think with the pitching advantage, I think the Pirates will beat the Mets tomorrow. Chicago White Sox versus Milwaukee Brewers. The the White Sox have a 39.7% chance to win, and the Brewers have a 60.3% chance to win. This game is at Milwaukee. For pitchers, Shane Smith for the White Sox has an ERA of 3.81, WHIP of 1.2, and Zurowski for the Brewers um, has an ERA of 4.36 and a WHIP of 1.24. So good pitching for Smith, not really good pitching from Zurowski. So I think, despite the home field advantage that the Brewers have with the pitching advantage, I think the White Sox will beat the Brewers tomorrow. Washington Nationals versus Chicago Cubs. The Nats have a 36.1% chance to win. The Cubs have a 63.9% chance to win. This game is at Chicago. For pitchers, for the Nationals, Cade Cavalli has an ERA of 5.09, WHIP of 1.51, and Boyd for the Cubs has an ERA of 4.57, WHIP of 1.28. So it's not really good pitching for either team. So, I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think the Cubs will beat the Nationals tomorrow. And so Twins versus Baltimore Orioles. The Twins have a 45.8% chance to win, and the Orioles have a 54.2% chance to win. This is at Baltimore. For pitchers, you have Joe Ryan for the Twins. He has an ERA of 3.79, WHIP of 1.06. And Rogers for the Orioles. He has an ERA of 3.83, WHIP of 1.3. So that's good pitcher for both teams. So I think and pretty close in that. So I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think the Orioles will beat the Twins tomorrow. Boston Red Sox versus Cincinnati Reds. The Red Sox have a 44.5% chance to win. The Reds have a 55.5% chance to win. This game is at Cincinnati. For pitchers, you have Garrett Crochet for the Red Sox. Has an ERA of 2.95, WHIP of 1.09. And Andrew Abbott for the Reds has an ERA of 3.42 and a WHIP of 1.24. So good pitching for both teams, pretty close. So I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think the Reds will beat the Red Sox tomorrow. Los Angeles Angels versus Houston Astros. The Angels have a 38.9% chance to win. The Astros have a 61.1% chance to win. This is at Houston. For pitchers, you have Jose Soriano for the Angels. Has an ERA of 3.89 with a 1.32. And Hunter Brown for the Astros. ERA of 3.49 with a 1.2. So that's good pitcher on both teams. Don't think it's really a big difference here. So I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think the Astros will beat the Angels tomorrow. Detroit Tigers versus San Diego Padres. The Tigers have a 45.9% chance to win. The Padres have a 54.1% chance to win. This game is at San Diego. For pitchers, you have a Tariq Skubal for the Tigers. He has a ERA of 3.08 with a 1.03. And Nick Pivetta for the Padres has an ERA of 4.47 with a 1.27. So good pitching for Skubal, not really good pitching for Pivetta. So I think it's a definite pitching advantage for the Tigers. So despite the home field advantage that the Padres have, I think with the pitching advantage, I think the Tigers will beat the Padres tomorrow. This Rangers versus Philadelphia Phillies. The Rangers have a 45% chance to win. The Phillies have a 55% chance to win. This game is at Philly. For pitchers, Nathan Eovaldi for the Rangers has a ERA of 3.89, WHIP of 1.25, and Christopher Sanchez for the Phillies has an ERA of 3.24, WHIP of 1.16. So that's good pitcher for both teams. It's not really a big difference here, so I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think the Phillies will beat the Rangers tomorrow. Tampa Bay Rays versus St. Louis Cardinals. The Rays have a 49% chance to win. The Cards have a 51% chance to win. This game is at St. Louis. For pitchers, Drew Rasmussen for the Rays has an ERA of 2.89 with a 1.07. And Matthew Liberatore for the Cards has an ERA of 4.63 with a 1.37. So there's definitely good pitching for Rasmussen. Not really good pitching for Liberatore. So I think it's a definite pitching advantage for the Rays. So I think despite the home field advantage that the Cardinals have, I think with the pitching advantage, I think the Rays will beat the Cardinals tomorrow. Arizona Diamondbacks versus Los Angeles Dodgers. The Diamondbacks have a 39.4% chance to win. The Dodgers have a 60.6% chance to win. This game is at LA. For pitchers, you have Zach Gallen for the Diamondbacks. ERA of 3.58, WHIP of 1.16. And you have Yoshinobu Yamamoto for the Dodgers. He has a ERA of 2.66, WHIP of 1.03. So that's good pitching for both teams. Definitely give a difference for Yamamoto in comparison to Gallen. But so I think it's a definite pitch advantage for the Dodgers. It's with home field advantage and pitching advantage. I think the Dodgers will beat the Diamondbacks tomorrow. Cleveland Guardians versus Seattle Mariners. The Guardians have a 45.7% chance to win. The Mariners have a 54.3% chance to win. This is at Seattle. For pitchers, yeah, Tanner Bibby for the Guardians. Has an ERA of 3.61, WHIP of 1.17, and Logan Gilbert for the Mariners he has a ERA of 3.58, WHIP of 1.06. So yeah, yeah. So that's good pitching for both teams. So I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think the Mariners will beat the Guardians tomorrow.
And that's it for picks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my picks. Do you agree with them? Do you not? If you have different picks, you can put them in the comments. But other than that, please like, subscribe, and all that. Thank you for listening, and look forward to the next video.